The internet is losing its mind right now because Jim Jones just dropped a bombshell that no one saw coming. In a shocking twist that has blindsided fans of hip-hop and reality TV alike, Jim has allegedly exposed Chrissy Lampkin and Cameron in what's being called their biggest fake pregnancy scandal ever. Yes, you heard that right. A fake pregnancy. And not just whispered rumors or vague speculation this time. Insiders claim receipts have surfaced that prove Chrissy and Cameron staged one of the most shocking deception plots in hip-hop relationship history. Jim, who has been publicly quiet on his longtime partner Chrissy for months, reportedly snapped after years of silence, revealing jaw-dropping details about how this so-called pregnancy was allegedly a cover-up for something darker. Fans are calling it one of the wildest betrayals they've ever heard. And the fact that Cameron's name is being dragged into the middle of it has turned Harlem upside down. Social media is in full meltdown mode. Instagram comments are flooding with "Jim finally said it," while Twitter threads are dissecting every possible angle. Some fans are furious at Chrissy for lying to the culture, while others are pointing fingers at Cameron, demanding to know if he was complicit in the scheme. And the craziest part, multiple insiders are whispering that the scandal isn't even fully out yet, that the receipts Jim has shown so far are just the beginning, and that the real evidence dropped could end Chrissy's reputation forever and drag Dipset into the mud. So what exactly did Jim reveal? Why now? And how does Cameron fit into a pregnancy scandal that fans are calling the most humiliating twist in love and hip-hop history? To understand the magnitude of Jim Jones' bombshell, you have to rewind the tape on the turbulent, messy, and often shocking history that ties Jim, Chrissy Lampkin, and Cameron together. This isn't just a scandal that appeared out of nowhere. This is years of drama, betrayal, and unresolved tension boiling over into something no one thought would ever surface. For decades, Jim Jones has been one of Harlem's most recognizable figures. Not just as a member of Dipset, but as a reality TV staple thanks to Love and Hip Hop New York. His relationship with Chrissy Lampkin has been one of the most infamous in VH1 history. Chaotic proposals, public fights, explosive arguments, and endless speculation about whether the two would ever truly walk down the aisle. Fans have watched them struggle, break apart, and reconcile more times than they can count. And through it all, Chrissy has remained a lightning rod, loved by some for her loyalty, criticized by others for her temper and controlling ways. But one thing about Chrissy has always been constant. Her storylines were personal. Everything about her on-screen presence revolved around love, family, and what fans thought was her deepest wish to build a family with Jim, which is why whispers of pregnancy, real or not, have always been the most explosive rumors tied to her name. Enter Cameron, Harlem legend, Dipset frontman, and Jim Sonnigan, off-again brother-in-arms. While Cam and Jim made music history together, their relationship has been anything but stable. Behind the scenes, their bond cracked under egos, money disputes, and loyalty issues. Publicly, they've traded jabs, reconciled, and then split again. Fans always knew there was bad blood simmering between Cam and Chrissy, with some even claiming she was one of the reasons Jim and Cam's bond never fully healed. And this is where the seeds of this scandal were planted. For years, there were whispers of a fake pregnancy storyline tied to Chrissy, the kind of whispers nobody could ever prove, but everyone speculated about. Some said it was cooked up by producers to boost ratings. Others claim Chrissy herself exaggerated the situation to lock Jim down emotionally. And then there were the darker whispers, the ones hinting that Cameron himself knew the truth, held it as a weapon, and waited for the right moment to use it. Jim Jones, till now, always bit his tongue. Despite being one of the most outspoken figures in hip-hop, he kept certain topics, especially ones involving Chrissy, off-limits. That silence made fans assume maybe there was nothing real behind the whispers. But the moment Jim broke that silence and accused Chrissy and Cameron of orchestrating the biggest fake pregnancy scandal, the internet understood one thing. This wasn't just about clout. This was personal. The betrayal hit deeper when you consider the triangle at play. Jim, who has stood by Chrissy for decades. Chrissy, whose loyalty has been questioned countless times. And Cam, who has always had a complicated love-hate brotherhood with Jim. Together, their names carry decades of Harlem history, both in music and in messy personal entanglements. A scandal of this magnitude doesn't just threaten relationships, it rewrites. History. Fans immediately began digging through old clips of love. And Hip Hop New York, they rewatched Chrissy's tearful confessions about wanting children. They resurfaced interviews where Jim dodged questions about fatherhood. They replayed Kamran's shady comments about Jim's love life. Every moment suddenly looked like foreshadowing. Every detail now part of a larger conspiracy. And here's the kicker. Some insiders are now claiming this fake pregnancy scandal wasn't just about clout for VH1. It was allegedly a scheme to manipulate the public, keep Jim tethered emotionally, and create sympathy for Chrissy's on-screen storyline. If true, it means one of reality TV's most dramatic couples may have sold fans a complete lie. The betrayal isn't just romantic, it's cultural. Chrissy and Jim's relationship was one of the most watched sagas in reality TV history. If Jim's claim is true, fans weren't just watching a messy love story, they were watching a carefully crafted performance, scripted to keep ratings up and manipulate emotions. But here's where the scandal gets even darker. Jim didn't just drag Chrissy, he dragged Kamran into the center of it, implying the Harlem legend wasn't just aware of the fake pregnancy, but complicit in covering it up. That revelation turns this from a messy reality TV scandal into a Harlem betrayal with the power to destroy Dipset's legacy. Why now? That's the question everyone is asking. Why did Jim finally decide to speak after years of silence? Some insiders claim Jim felt cornered, forced to finally air the truth after new receipts surfaced that made hiding the scandal impossible. Others believe he's lashing out, using Chrissy and Cam as scapegoats for deeper frustrations. Whatever the case, one thing is clear. Jim's exposure didn't just reopen old wounds, it detonated them. So what exactly did Jim reveal in his bombshell statements? What receipts are insiders claiming prove this scandal beyond a doubt? And how is Kamran, notoriously unfiltered and never shy to clap back, going to respond now that his name is attached to Harlem's most humiliating pregnancy scandal? Because if history has taught us anything, it's this. Cam never stays silent for long. And Chrissy. Her silence will be even louder. Silence will be even louder. When Jim Jones finally decided to break his silence, he didn't ease into it. He tore the lid off years of rumors and set Harlem on fire. His words didn't just hint at drama, they named names, exposed receipts, and confirmed what fans whispered for years but never had proof of. That Chrissy and Kamran allegedly staged a fake pregnancy storyline, and that Jim himself was manipulated into playing along. The moment hit during what fans thought was just another casual sit-down. Jim was in conversation when, out of nowhere, he leaned in and said, "Y'all really want to know why I don't trust nobody? Ask Chrissy about the pregnancy that never was. Ask Cam why he covered it up." Those words sent shockwaves across social media. The internet froze, then exploded within hours. Clips of Jim's statement hit every blog, every gossip page, and every fan forum. Fans couldn't believe he had actually said it out loud. For years, rumors of Chrissy faking a pregnancy to secure sympathy, screen time, and leverage with Jim floated around. But hearing it from Jim himself, with Cam's name attached as part of the cover-up, was a bombshell of another level. But Jim didn't stop there. He claimed there were text messages and emails between Chrissy and producers that laid out the plan to push a pregnancy narrative, a storyline that would keep audiences glued to love and hip-hop and give Chrissy a sympathetic angle when fans started to question her relationship with Jim. According to Jim, the so-called pregnancy was a fabrication, a ratings move, and he had been dragged into it without ever fully knowing the truth until later. Insiders immediately leaked screenshots that seemed to back up Jim's claim. Alleged emails between a VH1 producer and Chrissy discussed building a storyline around motherhood and leaning into the emotional arc of wanting a family. 1. Leaked draft email even referenced the possibility of pregnancy news creating ratings. Momentum, fans pounced, saying it was proof the entire saga had been manufactured. And then came the first shocking twist. Cameron's alleged involvement. According to Jim, Cam knew the truth all along. Jim accused Cam of advising Chrissy to play it up for the cameras and to keep Jim emotionally tied down by dangling the idea of fatherhood. To fans, this wasn't just messy, it was betrayal on both a personal and brotherhood level. Cam had always been portrayed as Jim's right-hand man, his dipset partner, his Harlem brother. If Jim's words were true, then Cam had sided with Chrissy in one of the dirtiest manipulations ever seen in hip-hop culture. The backlash was immediate. Social media dragged Chrissy for allegedly faking one of the most sacred experiences a woman can have. Memes flooded Twitter, with captions like "pregnant with ratings," "not a baby," and "VH1 shoulda called Maury." Cameron was dragged too, with fans demanding to know why he would co-sign something so humiliating for his supposed brother. But the scandal only grew. Darker insiders revealed that Jim allegedly discovered the truth years after the storyline aired. According to sources close to him, he had stumbled on production notes that contradicted Chrissy's claims at the time. Furious, he confronted both Chrissy and Cam, only to be met with deflection and gaslighting. One insider told a blog, Jim was told to chill out and not ruin the bag. They convinced him that speaking out would only hurt him, so he stayed quiet. But he never forgave it. That silence, the silence fans mistook for acceptance, was really a wound festering for years. Now, Jim's explosion was the wound finally bursting open. The internet lit up with debates. Some fans believed Jim wholeheartedly, pointing to Chrissy's long history of dramatic storylines and Cam's reputation for being strategic and ruthless. Others argued Jim was bitter, using Chrissy and Cam as scapegoats for years of relationship issues. But everyone agreed. If true, this wasn't just another love and hip-hop scandal. This was cultural fraud and the cliffhanger. Just as fans thought the receipts were limited to vague emails and Jim's claims, whispers began circulating that there was a recorded phone call between Chrissy and a producer where she admitted the pregnancy storyline was exaggerated. The rumor was that Jim himself had saved the recording years ago, waiting for the right moment to unleash it. Now fans are demanding to hear it. If the tape exists, it won't just end Chrissy's credibility. It'll drag VH1, Cameron, and possibly even other cast members into the mud. The stage is set. Jim has detonated the first bomb. The receipts have started to leak. And the first shocking twist, Cam allegedly helping Chrissy push a fake pregnancy, has Harlem and hip-hop fans questioning everything they thought they knew about Dipset loyalty and love and hip-hop history. The question now is, will Jim release the tape? The internet thought Jim Jones' accusations were shocking enough, but the escalation that followed turned whispers into a cultural earthquake. What started as a bombshell allegation about a fake pregnancy suddenly evolved into something much darker. Secret recordings, backroom betrayals, and a Harlem legacy on the brink of collapse. The first wave of escalation hit when a gossip blog dropped what they claimed was a leaked audio clip from years ago. In the grainy, muffled recording, a woman's voice alleged to be Chrissy's can be heard saying, "It don't matter if it's real or not, as long as they believe it. This is TV, baby. You think Mona care?" The voice then laughs before the recording cuts off. The internet exploded. Fans immediately pointed fingers, screaming that this was proof Chrissy admitted to faking the pregnancy storyline. Memes spread instantly. Screenshots of Chrissy on Love and Hip Hop crying about motherhood were plastered next to the quote, "It don't matter if it's real." Twitter timelines flooded with posts like Chrissy really said pregnancy was just a storyline. But the twist deepened when attention shifted to Cameron shortly after the audio leaked. A Twitter thread went viral claiming Cam himself had helped craft the deception. The thread, full of screenshots of alleged old texts, claimed Cam told Chrissy to ride this out and play the sympathy card. One text supposedly read, "Jim gone fold if he think you carrying his kid. He's soft when it come to family." The authenticity of the texts couldn't be proven, but the internet didn't care. Cam was dragged instantly. Fans accused him of betraying Jim for clout and using Chrissy's storyline as a chess move to keep Dipset in the headlines. Harlem was in shambles. Dipset's brotherhood, once seen as untouchable, was now painted as a dirty soap opera of lies, manipulation, and betrayal. And then came the shocking reveal that flipped everything upside down. A YouTube channel claiming to have insider connections uploaded a 30-minute expose, complete with alleged behind-the-scenes footage from Love and Hip Hop New York. In the video, producers were heard discussing building the pregnancy arc. One producer said, "We don't need proof. We just need the emotion. If Chrissy plays it right, Jim won't even question it on camera." That reveal set the internet on fire. If true, it meant not only were Chrissy and Cam allegedly complicit, but VH1 producers had knowingly pushed a fake pregnancy arc for ratings. Fans flooded the comments sections of VH1's official pages with accusations of exploitation. Some even demanded lawsuits, calling it emotional fraud against viewers who invested years into the storyline. Meanwhile, silence became deafening. She didn't post, didn't tweet, didn't address the mounting evidence. Her absence only fueled speculation. Was she hiding, or was she preparing to clap back with her own bombshell? Cam, however, couldn't resist. He went live on Instagram, smirking as usual, and dismissed the scandal with sarcasm. "Y'all really think I'm out here writing pregnancy scripts? Man, I'm Kamran. I don't need no fake storyline. That's not my lane." But fans weren't buying it. The comments section was brutal, flooded with snake emojis and accusations of betrayal. His dismissive tone only made people believe he was guilty. The industry weighed in too. Funkmaster Flex dropped a rant on Hot 97, calling it the fakest scandal Harlem ever seen. Remy Ma hinted on a podcast that some folks been lying to the culture for a long time. And Cardi B, in her usual unfiltered fashion, tweeted, "If y'all really faked a pregnancy for TV, that's weird AF. Like, too far." But the most jaw-dropping moment came when another insider revealed that Jim allegedly, as video footage from years ago, a private sit-down between him, Chrissy, and Cam, where they discussed the storyline. The footage, according to whispers, shows Jim confronting them directly, only to be brushed off with excuses about making money and keeping the brand alive. If that footage exists, it could destroy everything. It wouldn't just expose Chrissy. It wouldn't just embarrass Cam. It would drag VH1 into the mud, expose Love and Hip Hop's dirtiest secrets, and forever stain Harlem's biggest power trio. The cliffhanger now has fans spiraling. Was the leaked audio real, or an elaborate fake designed to destroy Chrissy? Were the Cameron texts authentic, or just another layer of internet fabrication? And most importantly, will Jim finally release the footage that could prove once and for all whether the pregnancy scandal was the biggest fraud in reality TV history? Because if Jim hits play on that video, it won't just end Chrissy. It could burn Cameron's credibility to ashes, unravel Dipset's brotherhood, and force VH1 to answer for one of the dirtiest scams the culture has ever seen. And until then, the entire industry is holding its breath. The fallout from Jim Jones' bombshell wasn't just messy, it was nuclear. The scandal didn't stay confined to Harlem or even Love and Hip Hop fandoms. It went global, spreading across timelines, podcasts, and news outlets until the entire culture had no choice but to weigh in. Twitter was ground zero. Hashtags like #ChrissyExposed, #CamKnew, and #FakePregnancyScandal trended for 3 straight days. One viral tweet read, "If Chrissy really faked a pregnancy for ratings, that's worse than half the scandals we've seen combined." Another countered, "Jim bitter. He waited years to bring this up." Why now? The timeline became a war zone, with fans picking sides and dragging receipts from old love and hip-hop episodes to back up their arguments. TikTok creators jumped on the chaos, remixing Chrissy's old tearful confessionals with sarcastic captions like, "When you're pregnant with ratings." Not a baby, others recreated Jim's explosive accusation with dramatic reenactments. Within 24 hours, the scandal had turned into a meme factory, but the underlying anger was still very real. Instagram blogs like The Shade Room and Hollywood Unlocked couldn't post fast enough. Every leaked audio, every screenshot, every shady celebrity reaction was dissected in real time. The comment sections were brutal. Fans calling Chrissy the queen of manipulation, others accusing Cam of being the ultimate snake, and many praising Jim for finally telling the truth. But the industry response was even. Wilder. Rappers and reality stars lined up to give their 2 cents. Remy Ma doubled down during an interview. "I've been saying for years, y'all can't trust everything y'all see on these shows." Now look, Erica Mena chimed in on live, smirking as she said, "That's why I never liked Chrissy. She'd been lying since day one." Her comments sent shockwaves because they confirmed what many cast members had whispered behind the scenes, that Chrissy's storylines were often exaggerated or manipulated. On the flip side, some defended Chrissy. Funk Master Flex argued on Hot 97, "This is entertainment, bro. Y'all acting like y'all ain't never seen a storyline before. Don't crucify her for playing the game." Safari even dropped a cryptic tweet. "TV is TV. Stop confusing it with real life." His words fueled speculation that fake pregnancies and manufactured scandals might be far more common in the reality TV world than fans ever realize. But the most shocking defense came from a Harlem OG who went on record saying, "Cam ain't fake nothing. He just knew the business. If Jim ain't know, that's on him. Cam been about the bag." That statement split the streets down the middle. Some sided with Jim as the victim, others with Cam as the strategist who did what was necessary to keep Harlem in the spotlight. Meanwhile, VH1's silence only added gasoline to the fire. Fans flooded their official accounts demanding answers. Did you script Chrissy's pregnancy? Where's the footage Jim claims to have? The network ignored the storm, but insiders whispered that emergency meetings were being held behind the scenes to figure out whether this scandal could spark lawsuits or sink the credibility of love and hip-hop as a brand. And then came the fans' reaction in real life. In Harlem, heated debates broke out in barbershops, clubs, and block corners. Some locals said Jim had betrayed Harlem by going public with something that should have stayed private. Others said he did the right thing by exposing Chrissy and Cam's deception. Harlem pride, Dipset loyalty, and decades of history were suddenly tangled in a messy, very public family fight. Even media outlets outside of hip-hop couldn't resist. TMZ ran with the headline, "Love and Hip-Hop's Biggest Lie. Jim Jones says pregnancy was fake." The New York Post framed it as a betrayal. Chrissy's fake baby bombshell. Harlem in uproar. The scandal wasn't just hip-hop tea anymore. It was mainstream news, and through it all, the public grew hungrier for one thing: the tape. Every conversation ended with the same question. Would Jim release the alleged video footage of Chrissy and Cam admitting to the scheme? Fans spammed Jim's social media with demands, some begging, some threatening to cancel him if he didn't back up his claims with proof. The cliffhanger loomed larger than ever. Was Jim bluffing? Or was he really sitting on receipts that could destroy Chrissy's reputation, Cam's credibility, and VH1's brand in one brutal strike? Because if that footage exists, and if Jim decides to release it, this won't just be the biggest fake pregnancy scandal in reality TV history. It will be the moment that rewrites Harlem's cultural story forever. Just when the scandal seemed ready to burn out, the final twist dropped, and it was nastier than anything fans had prepared for. Late one night, a mysterious account on Twitter posted a 1-minute video clip that immediately sent Harlem into chaos. The clip appeared to show a dimly lit living room, with three familiar voices in the background: Jim, Chrissy, and Cam. Though the footage was grainy, the audio was clear. Chrissy's voice rang out first. "We just gotta keep it together for the cameras." They eat this up. Cam's voice followed, sharp and unmistakable. "Yeah, but Jim can't know everything. He too emotional." "Play it smart, play it right," and then Jim's voice sounding frustrated, almost betrayed, cut in. "So all this time? This pregnancy thing? Y'all playing me?" The clip ended abruptly, but that was enough. The internet lost its mind. Fans flooded timelines with shock and disbelief. "This can't be real." One viral tweet read. Another, "Jim been sitting on this, and now it leaks." Harlem is finished. Memes circulated instantly. Chrissy's face photoshopped on a baby bottle, with the caption, "Pregnant with ratings." Cam pictured holding up. Director's script was seen. "Fake pregnancy arc" written on it, but here's the chilling part. No one knows where the clip came from. Some fans swore it was the long-teased footage Jim had been holding on to. Others claimed it was a doctored fake designed to deepen the scandal. Either way, the timing couldn't be ignored. The leak came just as demands for proof had reached a fever pitch. And then Jim himself added gasoline. He posted a cryptic Instagram story, a black background with white text. That wasn't even the whole thing. "Y'all not ready for the rest?" No explanation. No clarification. Just that the comment sections went wild. Was Jim confirming the clip was real? Was he threatening to release the full video? Or was he simply stirring the pot to keep Chrissy and Cam cornered? Fans debated for hours, with one undeniable conclusion: the situation was far from over. Meanwhile, Chrissy was spotted in public for the first time since the scandal broke. Paparazzi caught her outside a restaurant, visibly upset, dodging questions. When one reporter shouted, "Chrissy, did you fake the pregnancy?" she snapped back, "Y'all believe everything you see online? Please." Her denial only fueled more fire. Because it wasn't a clear no, it was deflection. Cam, true to form, doubled down on his trolling. He posted an old Dipset photo with the caption, "Family over everything." Even fake rumors. The comments were brutal, with fans clowning him for avoiding accountability. But Cam seemed unfazed, almost enjoying the chaos. Behind the scenes, insiders claimed VH1 executives were panicking. If the leaked clip was real, it didn't just expose Chrissy, it exposed the network. Producers could be accused of knowingly pushing a fraudulent storyline, potentially opening the door to lawsuits. One insider told a blog, "They're praying Jim doesn't drop the full footage. Because if he does, it's over for everybody. And here's the kicker. Whispers are already circulating that the fake pregnancy wasn't the only lie. Allegedly, more storylines from the early seasons of Love and Hip Hop were manufactured in ways that fans would find unforgivable. If Jim decides to pull the curtain all the way back, this could turn from a Chrissy versus Jim scandal into a full-blown VHE. Expose the cliffhanger couldn't be sharper. Was the leaked clip authentic proof, or a masterfully crafted fake designed to destroy Chrissy and Cam's reputations? Will Jim finally release the whole thing as he teased? And if he does, will it bring down VH1 itself? And the darkest question of all, if Chrissy and Cam really faked a pregnancy for clout, what other lies have been fed to fans for years? One thing is certain, this isn't the end of the story. It's the moment before the next explosion. And when the next bomb drops, it won't just break Harlem, it'll break reality TV history. And now, after leaked audios, explosive accusations, and a mysterious video clip that may have changed reality TV forever, the question isn't whether this scandal is real, it's whether the truth will ever fully come out. Jim Jones shattered years of silence. Chrissy Lampkin is being accused of faking one of the most sacred experiences in a woman's life. And Cameron's name is being dragged into the middle of it all as the alleged co-conspirator. Harlem has never seen anything like this. But what do you think? Do you believe Jim finally exposed the truth about Chrissy's pregnancy? Or is this a bitter man twisting old wounds for clout? Was Chrissy truly manipulating fans, Jim, and the entire culture with a storyline that never existed? Or is she being unfairly targeted by people who have their own agendas? And what about Cameron? Was he protecting his brother, or plotting behind the scenes to play Jim like a pawn for the sake of money and headlines? And let's not ignore the elephant in the room, VH1. If the footage is real, and if producers knowingly scripted one of the dirtiest lies in love and hip-hop history, does this destroy the show's credibility forever? Should fans sue? Should Chrissy be banned from the franchise? Should Cam finally speak out without trolling? Drop your theories in the comments, because the debate is already dividing Harlem, the industry, and the entire fan base. Was this all real? Or have we been watching a decades-long lie unfold before our very eyes? One thing is certain, Jim is hinting that more receipts exist, and if those receipts drop, they won't just end Chrissy and Cam, they'll pull the entire house of cards down with them. So, don't just watch, be part of the story. Smash that like button if you think the full truth still hasn't been told. Hit subscribe and turn on notifications, because when the next leak drops, and trust me, it will, you're going to want to be here first, because this isn't over. Not by a long shot.